Imagine waking up at 35 years old and realizing you are completely lost. Not just lost on a map, but lost in your soul. Your career is ruined. You have been exiled from your home under threat of being burnt at the stake. And the world feels like a chaotic mess of greed and violence. This was the reality of Dante Alighieri in the year 1300. But instead of giving up, Dante did something audacious. He wrote a comedy, not because it was funny, but because it had a happy ending. Most people think the Divine Comedy is just a tour of scary monsters and creative punishments. But beneath the surface, it is massive, clockwork machine of philosophy. Dante wanted to show us that the universe isn't random. It is a masterpiece of logic, justice, and above all, love. Today we are breaking down the three pillars of Dante's thoughts: choice, growth, and the energy that moves the stars. To understand Dante, you have to throw out our modern idea of love as just a fizzy feeling. For Dante, love is physics. Following the philosophy of Aristotle and Thomas Aquinas, Dante believed that every single thing in the universe has a natural pull. Rocks want to fall towards the center of the earth. Fire wants to rise towards the moon. In human, that pull is desire. Dante's core philosophical claim is this: every action you take is an act of love. When you help a friend, you are loving the good. But, and here is the twist, when someone commits a crime, Dante argues they are also acting out of love. They just have disordered love. A thief loves money more than he loves his neighbor. A tyrant loves his own power more than he loves justice. Sin in Dante's philosophy isn't just breaking a rule, it's a mathematical error in your heart. You are loving a lesser good and treating it like a greater good. As Dante descended into hell, we see his philosophy of justice, which he calls the contrapasso. This is the idea that the punishment doesn't just fit the crime. The punishment is the crime. In the Inferno, those who let themselves be blown about by their passions in life are now physically blown about by a violent wind for eternity. Those who tried to see too far into the future now have their heads turned backwards. Philosophically, Dante is saying that hell isn't a place God sends you to be mean. Hell is a state of mind where you are trapped in your own choice forever. The inhabitants of hell don't want to leave because they don't want to change. They are stuck in their disordered love and they refuse to admit they were wrong. To Dante, the ultimate tragedy isn't pain, it's the loss of the good of the intellect. It's the inability to think clearly about who you are. If the Inferno is about being stuck, Purgatory is about the most beautiful human capacity, the ability to change. This is the most human part of Dante's philosophy. He suggests that even if we have messed up our love, we can retrain our desires. It's like spiritual physical therapy. The people on this mountain are suffering, but they are happy. Why? Because they have a goal. They are unlearning their pride, their envy, and their anger. Dante is teaching us that freedom isn't the ability to do whatever you want. Freedom is the power to want what is actually good for you. This is the transition from the slave to the master of one's own will. Finally, we reach Paradiso. Here, Dante's philosophy turns towards the big picture. He sees the universe as a giant web of interconnectedness. He argues that perfect society requires two things: intellectual clarity, understanding the truth, political peace, Dante believed that without a fair government to provide for our physical needs, we can't focus on our spiritual lives. At the very end of his journey, Dante looks into the heart of the divine. He expects to see a mathematical abstraction or a terrifying force. Instead, he sees three circles of light, and inside them, he sees our human effigy, a human face. The ultimate philosophical conclusion of Dante is that the divine and the human are not separate. To be fully human is to be in harmony with the love that moves the sun and the other stars. Every one of the three books of the comedy ends with the same word, stella, the stars. Dante's philosophy reminds us that no matter how dark the wood of our lives might get, there is an objective order to the universe. We are creatures driven by desire, and our only job is to point that desire toward things that actually matter: truth, justice, and love. Next time you are feeling lost, remember Dante. He went to hell and back just to remind us that we have the power to choose our path.